in. I'm here with Anne Fontaine at the 2016 Sundance Film Festival after the premiere of Agnes Day, her latest film. I read somewhere that you stated your films all have an element of cruelty in them, and taking the title of Agnes Day, it almost seems like a very dark metaphor for this latest film.
For me, it's not a dark movie. It is a cruel situation based on real facts, in this convent where a young French doctor in 1945 from the Red Cross discovers in a convent monastery in Poland at the end of the war a Benedictine community where 8 sisters are pregnant. That's a situation c'est très inhabituel comme situation.
It's not common as a situation.
And we learn very, very quickly that they are raped by Soviet army. And you say it's the sacrifice of the children. That means that in Latin. You say in France, the title is the innocent, les innocents. It's another title, And I think that the story all the time keeps the hope there, a hope that they construct. Que ce jeune médecin va construire avec des femmes qui sont très loin évidemment de la médecine, qui sont victimes aussi d'un certain obscurantisme, mais petit à petit elles vont se rapprocher pour trouver une voie.
The story of this young doctor who's trying to get closer to a community of nuns who are very, very distant and remote from science, but in time they're going to become closer to their own destiny that is in the hands of this young doctor.
It's a terrible situation, of course, because they are raped as women and also as religious. It's une arme de guerre. It's a war.
It's a weapon war.
Weapon war. War weapon, and it's very common today also in the countries in war. It's completely exactly the same situation.
Right.
It hasn't changed a lot.
Right. Well, and the fact that they're nuns, I mean, it's a continuing, it's a never-ending effect on them, because they're not supposed to have children.
But children, no sex, and to be completely chaste, not to be touched, not to have the body that speaks, and to be pregnant, to donner naissance, to give birth. It's something that they are not prepared at all, and that's a situation that was so powerful, the condition human, being, that I was touched very when I read the little diary of the French doctor, because she has written a little diary, very simple, only to say what she has done during this period. It's not all the dramaturgy, it's only the fact that she met one sister one day that came to say to her, help, come on, and that she discovers this French doctor, this situation that was completely forgotten in Poland, forgotten in France. It was completely unknown.
Right. Matilda, her political views as a communist, I found were interesting because that paved the way for kind of a greater understanding, it seems, that she was more sympathetic towards the nuns as compared to obviously Samuel, who is the doctor that she has a romance with, who is of Jewish heritage.
Le fait qu'elle soit communiste, c'est ça que ça la rapprochait?
Oui, et que grâce à son action, elle a sûrement exposé le problème plus que son camarade qui était un médecin juif et qui probablement ne serait pas impliqué de la même manière.
Surtout, c'est une femme.
And also, it's the fact that she's a woman.
Une femme.
Yes. Most important.
Et une femme laïque. Une femme laïque, c'est très important. A laïque person who thinks that action is most important than metaphysic. Spirituality word, and that's interesting because she has to be pragmatic, she has to be completely efficient in a dans un milieu où c'est très très difficile de toucher donc les corps et surtout de faire comprendre qu'il y a une nécessité d'avoir de l'aide, alors que la mère supérieure elle ne veut pas divulguer le secret, elle veut protéger leur total secret de peur qu'elle soit tuée ou vilipendée ou que la honte les gagne.
And the challenge for this woman in an environment where even touching the body is unimaginable, but also with the mother who basically wants to protect the nuns and the secret and protect the coven.
I choose communism because it was a period where a young girl could be like that, but more because it's the contrast, very contrast with the spirit, the church, with the religion, more than to help. To help it's because she's a doctor. She's
finding a common ground.
Yeah.
It reminded me a couple times of Story of Women, the Chabrol film.
The film de Claude Chabrol.
Yes, which one?
What was the title in English?
The Story of Women.
The Story Woman.
Like 19.
Yes, when you did abortion.
The abortion.
Oh,
doctor.
yeah.
Yes,
it
exactly.
reminded me kind of like a converse.
Another
version of that, the women coming together over.
Yes, but there is a thing very different. It's very different. No, it's the way the face could be fragile. How you can keep the face, all the face, not only religious face, also the face in human beings. When you have a kind of tragedy like that, and it's very interesting to see how each one has another interpretation of the fact that she has to give birth. If one of them thinks that it's possible to be mother, the other ones no, and that's a very interesting human creation about that. C'est quelque chose de très inédit, de très fort, de voir ces sœurs qui petit à petit se solidarisent et trouvent une voie, mais en même temps sont individualisées. C'est pas un groupe général qui réagit, c'est vraiment chaque personne.
It's the beauty in a group of women and nuns who are collectively on a common faith, but also who have their individual perspective and approach to their own situations, and they express it.
You've been very busy the past few years.
You think so?
Yes. But I find that it's hard. You can't categorize your films in any sort of particular way, which I think is great. But I noticed that at least since Coco Before Chanel, you seem to go back and forth between lighter and darker material. Not that Agnes Day is a dark film, but the subject matter.
No, it's
heavy.
It's a deep, complex story, heavy like some of my movies, where between his hands or dry cleaning, but I think it speaks about transgression. All my movies, even if it's light or less light, and here what is interesting, it's the transgression is a way to save. C'est une voie vers le salut, la transgression, because voie vers le salut.
Le salut dans le.
Le salut vers la liberté, une conquête de la liberté d'une certaine façon.
It's how do you say this in English? It's very French. It's the road to
go to the freedom. For example, the transgression of this young sister that doesn't obey, go to the forest to look after help. She disobeyed. She has not obeyed the rules of this covenant. This young doctor that disobeyed the hierarchy, the military hierarchy, that's like a transgression. She has to take risks. She could be raped, and she's almost. And also the Maria, the Benedictine sister, the main character, Agatha Buzek, she disobeyed at the Mother Superior when she discovered what she is doing with the children. And I think it speaks about transgression, all my movies, but in a different way, about sexuality, ambiguity, and here it's more than ambiguity, it's something paroxystic situation of the sexuality forced by men on women.
Right.
Maybe transgression as a way of salvation. I think that's
Okay. Yes, that makes sense to me.
I was looking for that word.
But that's true that I always try to shoot a movie against another one. To be, because I think to be light or to be deep, it's the same process. It's not the same way to incarnate characters, but it's deep also to be light. It's difficult to be light also. It's not easier, you know.
Right. Yeah, no, then that shouldn't be implied either. But you're reuniting with Pascal Bonitzer, who...
Pascal Bonitzer,
yeah,
yes. I have done Gemma
Gemma
Bovary
Bovary
before with Fabrice Lucchini, and it's the second movie. And you know, when I began on this script, it was a treatment written by two young script writers. They are the names are in the
in the press notes.
Yes. Yeah.
And they worked with avec l'oncle, non, avec le neveu
The nephew.
of this young doctor. This nephew, he's alive of course, had this document about
The
the
nephew
life.
of the real life doctor
Oh,
in the
okay.
film.
Okay.
And that was the beginning of the story, because they worked together, and after that, my producer, Eric and Nicolas Altmaier, they felt in love with this story, and they consult me about it, and say to me, I think it's really a movie for you, a story for me. And I was completely touched by the story, and I did again with Pascal Bonitzer all the treatment, all the way to write the story, because we have some elements, but after that c'est une démarche romanesque, c'est-à-dire j'ai interprété les événements.
Then it's an interpretation of the events, so
Right,
the
right.
rewrite.
It's not like a book where every scene is
Everything's
written. No,
already there.
it's the characters, the personality of the sisters, the mother superior. But of course, it's true, but true for a movie, not true like a documentary.
Right. I know you've said that you don't have your actors prepare by watching other films, that you're...
For the Polish actors,
Yes.
in this movie, no.
But did you have any in mind as you were writing, what it reminded you of?
Me to direct my DP, my DP, on peut dire, my French DP, Caroline Champetier. I show her Thérèse d'Alain Cavalier. Thérèse, it's a very, very, very known French film about a nun, Thérèse. It was 20 years ago, very, very abstract, like paintings. I show her painter de la peinture de comment il s'appelle, tu vois, des peintures religieuses bien sûr, de la
Religious paintings. Renaissance.
Non, tu sais, de la tour, Georges de la Tour.
De la Tour.
Yes.
De la Tour pour les Lumières, Bresson.
Okay. Yeah.
Donc des références avec beaucoup de sobriété et des cadres qui mettent en valeur vraiment les visages, des lumières très travaillées, sans être trop esthétisants.
So not paintings that were not just into the beautification of the figure, the purpose of light, very delicate light, the frame, the purpose of picking those frames. So elements that define the aesthetic of a figure, of an image. That in paintings were important to inspire the work of the DP.
Of course, we work a lot on the way we are going to keep this mystery of what happens behind the skin, of these characters. Even the young actress, she has a face amazing for a movie. Lou Delage, you knew her?
Yes.
You knew because she hasn't done many movies.
I was going to ask you about casting because I know she's kind of the new ingenue because I've seen her in Daniel Thompson, Melanie Laurent's film, and
Respire.
and The Wait, the Italian film.
Oh yes,
Juliette
okay.
Binoche. Yeah, she seems to be very up and coming and has worked with a lot of other women directors so far.
Yes, that's true. I have done tests with her because it was the first movie she will do with a character, not a young girl but a woman.
Correct.
So at the first. And when I put my camera on her face, I felt that she has something so beautiful, but in a way mysterious, you know, with a way to look, a way to be like a painting also, with the mouth and amazing, like a drone. And I felt that she gives pureté, de la pureté, purity at this character, and she has tested with the other actresses. You know, the first time I make them meet. It was amazing that all the nuns, my actresses, Polish actresses, look at her like a miracle, you know, a miracle, because they were completely under her grace. She has grace, and it was very important for this.